guys, Brittany here. Please ignore my hair. It looks like hell. I'm so sorry. With my top 10 favorite movies. Now, if you want to see my full list for all the videos I make and all the other ones I don't, links for my Twitter and my Tumblr will be down below, and you can check out the full list, because I technically had a top 20, but I really didn't feel like talking about 20 movies, so I'm just doing my top 10. I'm not going to go into great detail about each movie. I'll give a little bit about my opinion, but I want to kind of make this a quick video, so. And also, just so you know, I have my list right here, over here on my screen, so if I'm looking over that way, it's because I'm looking at my list. Anyway. So number 10 on my list is Deadpool 2, which I saw in theaters when it came out. I did enjoy Deadpool 2. I liked the introduction of Cable and Domino and some of the other characters, but as a whole, I just felt it wasn't as strong a movie or story as the first movie was. So that's why it's not higher on my list. I just preferred the first one more than the second one. The number 9 on my list is Love, Simon, which I saw when it came out in theaters. And I really, really loved Love, Simon when I saw it in theaters. I thought it was so cute. I was emotional. I just loved everything about it. I will admit that one of the main reasons it's not higher on my list is because also during this year, I read the book. After reading the book and then rewatching the movie and knowing the differences between the book and the movie, it did kind of lessen my love of the movie a little bit. Not a whole bunch. Like, I still really love and enjoy that movie. It still both breaks my heart and warms my heart. But there were some choices in the adaptation process that I didn't like. Number 8 on my list is Bohemian Rhapsody, which I saw when it came out in theaters. I was so excited for this movie. I've been raised on Queen. My mom is a big Queen fan. So I was so excited to see this movie come to life. And I really love Rami Malek. And this was such a good film. I loved the way, obviously Rami stole the show as Freddie Mercury. I think my biggest issues is I had some pacing issues, which I felt were really noticeable. And so that's one of the main reasons it's not higher on my list. I just had the pacing of it didn't flow as nicely as I would have liked. Number 7 on my list is The Hate U Give, which I saw when it came out in theaters. This was a book I absolutely adored when I read it this year. And so I was really excited, but also really nervous about the movie. The movie, while it did have its differences from the book, which is why it's not higher on my list, I still think the movie did a good job of capturing the heart and soul of that book. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was going to be really critical of this movie if it did not do a good job, because I loved the book. I do think the movie did a good job of representing what the book is about, the point of the book, the purpose of the book. And I really, really enjoyed it. Number 6 on my list, I'm not sure how people are going to react to my number 6, but my number 6 is Mother, which actually came out September of last year, but I saw it February of this year. I had heard so many things about this movie. I'd find out what all this noise over this movie is. This movie is not for everyone. It really isn't. And at first, I didn't really know if I liked it, and then I had my brother watch it. And through watching it with my brother, I realized I do like it. And I even bought it on DVD because I was like... And it's just such a weird, interesting film that it's not a movie that you can just watch once and know if you like it or not. To me, I feel like you kind of have to watch it a couple times to really fully grasp the story and what the director was going for. But I liked Mother. And that's why it's so high on my list. I really liked Mother. Number 5 on my list is Black Panther, which I saw when it came out in theaters this year. I loved Black Panther. Like, I will admit there were some issues I had with the third act of the film. I felt some stuff was a little rushed, which also caused some pacing issues. But overall, this was such a strong film that did a great job of introducing not only the Black Panther, T'Challa, but also everyone in his world and the land of Wakanda. It did its job perfectly, and I loved everything about it. And it just made me love this character more and want to see more from him and all the other characters in Wakanda. Number 4 on my list is A Quiet Place. Now, I'm not a horror person. I don't like scary movies. It's not who I am. But I wanted to see A Quiet Place. The hype around this movie was so big, and I didn't go see it when it was in theaters, but my brother bought it when it came out on Blu-ray, and I borrowed it from him and watched it, and holy crap, this was so good. John Krasinski, I love John Krasinski. I'm an Office fan, so I was already hyped about that. Not only did he deliver a great performance in the movie, but his direction, it just made me excited for him to direct more things in the future. And Emily Blunt's performance was just as amazing as his. And the kids they cast were perfect. And it was such a good movie. I've watched it multiple times. It's so good. It's so good. I can't say anything else besides it's so good. Number 3 on my list is Get Out. Get Out. When this movie came, I did not see it when it came out, and I believe it came out February of last year. I saw it January of this year because I'm a big Globes, Oscar, I'm all for the award shows. And so when Get Out started getting all these nominations, I'm like, oh my god, I have to watch Get Out. I have to. Like, I already knew I wanted to see it, but after that, I was like, I have to watch Get Out. I have to. This movie was insane in the best way possible. It's one of those movies that still stays with me, and I haven't watched it in a while. I need to rewatch Get Out, actually. But it not only made me appreciate all the performances and the story, but Jordan Peele, like, I never would have expected this to come from Jordan Peele. And I'm so excited for his new movie that's coming out this year, Us. So if he can continue delivering what he delivered in Get Out, I'm here for it. Like, Get Out was amazing. Number 2 on my list is A Star is Born, which I'm sure some people are rolling their eyes at, but I can't help it. I loved A Star is Born. I saw it when it came out in theaters, and full disclosure, I've not seen any of the other 3 that came before it, but I really love this. Bradley Cooper is an actor I have, like, a love-hate relationship. There are some projects he does where I love his performance, and other projects where I hate his performance. This was one that I really loved, but to me, A Star is Born is about Gaga. It just is. And when it comes to this movie, it is solely about Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, but for different reasons. Gaga, it's all about her acting in this, and her singing. Like, she shines so bright in this film in both areas. But Bradley Cooper, not only does he shine in acting, but his direction of this film was so good, and I'm so happy he got recognized for directing for this film. He does such an amazing job. And just like with Jordan Peele, I can't wait to see what else he does. Just like with Jordan Peele and John Krasinski, I can't wait to see what else Bradley Cooper does when it comes to directing. I can't wait. And now, my number 1 pick for favorite movie of 2018, and I don't know how people will react to my number 1 pick, but it's my list, it's my opinion, and if you don't agree with it, that's fine, we can discuss it. But my number 1 favorite movie of 2018 was Avengers: Infinity War. It just was. All these other movies on my list were amazing, and I enjoyed them thoroughly, but when I sat down and thought about all the movies I saw in 2018 for the first time, like, let me clarify that. I don't think I did at the beginning. All these movies had to have been me seeing them for the very first time. Avengers beat everything else. I had the best movie-going experience with this. I enjoyed the film immensely. Did it have issues? Yes. No movie's perfect. But they weren't big enough issues to make me dislike the film or enjoy it less. So I'm interested to see how Endgame will play on this year's list, because Infinity War is number 1. But yeah, So those were my top 10 favorite movies that I saw for the first time in 2018. Let me know down below what you think of the movies that made my list, and also what movies made your list. I'd love to know. So like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next time.